Welcome back. Hillary Clinton still trying to connect with voters after 30 years, but it's not working. Her numbers plummeting.
And this is the Wall Street Journal reports Joe Biden is now edging closer to a presidential run. He's reportedly met with a team of advisors to hone a campaign message and are now discussing when an announcement will come.
Back with us now, the lovely and talented Dana Perino, co-host of The Five and author of And the Good News Is. Good morning
Nice to
again.
see you this morning.
What is the good news?
Well, you tell us.
Well, for Joe Biden, it may have been, maybe the turning point was that Colbert interview the other day, which, by the way, if you haven't watched it, I mean, it's a really touching interview talking about the death of his son. And while he didn't really think that he could emotionally handle running for president, he thought that he was still too caught up in that, and he wasn't emotionally prepared to run for president. He had to give 110%, and he didn't feel like he had it in him. What's changed?
Well, I think what was so touching about it is that it was so authentic. You know, 2 weeks ago, the Hillary campaign had to put out a statement and a story to the New York Times saying that, now watch, now we're going to be spontaneous. We are planning to be spontaneous. But Joe Biden was just authentic, and people can connect with him. I actually think that he can wait until after the first Democratic debate. That takes place in October, so that he could actually wait until November 1st to get in. And I think part of this also is that the Democrats are very worried about what is going on with Hillary Clinton and her campaign and her ability. She is not improved. She doesn't ever improve as a candidate. Her numbers are bad, but also she's got 5 federal investigations. They need a backup plan. And so I think that Joe Biden, one, I think he wants to be president of the United States. I don't think it's just because Hillary's not doing well, but I think that he is inching towards announcing.
But we're in a moment, I completely agree with you, and I think Democrats deserve a real choice, and I want them to have one. But we're in a moment of identity politics, and here you have a white guy from a Rust Belt state, pro-union, who goes to church every day in his 70s. That's not the modern Democratic Party. Does he have a shot?
Well, but you could have just described Bernie Sanders.
You could, but Bernie Sanders appeals to, like, left-wing college students, which is still a component of the Democratic coalition. A small one, but it's a real thing. Is Joe Biden, can he command any major segment of the Democratic coalition?
He absolutely can, because there are enough people in this country that really want a third Obama term. And he would be able to bring all of those people together. He actually is quite unifying, I think, as a Democrat.
I mean, Hillary, you know, I mean, honestly, because of what happened with his son, Hillary's kind of been holding back and has been actually complimentary and said that he was very authentic and he was very real. So when do the gloves come off after he does announce, if he does indeed announce?
Well, her team is very good at opposition research, okay, and there's plenty there, but the thing is he's run so much that there's a lot out there, and sort of feels like also with Hillary, like, there's not much opposition research left to do.
I'm curious, so how would you differentiate yourself? Both members of the Obama administration, how are they going to, on a debate stage, be able to debate differences among themselves? I mean,
well, Joe Biden could say, I'm not under 5 federal investigations. I mean, that is a differentiating point.
Right, I didn't destroy Syria.
Yeah, you know, her team is in a real bind because they've been putting her out more. She was on CNN. She's going to be on Face the Nation tomorrow morning. She did Mario Lopez, and she's doing the Des Moines Register Ed Board on Tuesday, her first time in, I think, a year. So they're having to put her out to do more. But the problem is the numbers show every time they put her out more, her approval number goes down.
So what's the solution? Get Bill Clinton out there instead, in her stead?
This is what I think is amazing. How could it be that Democrats want so much to elect the first woman president so that they could get Bill Clinton back in the White House?
Right.
It doesn't make sense to me.
Because he's a major feminist and friend of women. It's sad, though. How much would it hurt your feelings if the more people saw you, the less they liked you?
Yeah, that would be bad.
Yeah.
I think there are some people like that with me.
Stop that.
That's not true.
There's probably one watching right now. We'll hear from him in a minute.
Great to see you, Dana. Thank you for doing this.
Thanks,
Thank you. I love
Join
being
the club, sister.